we were concerned that the team house would even come back, right? Like, you know, does No Regrets still have interest in it? You know, are they going to go back to Korea, or is that kind of gone for now? So yeah, that's always kind of been up in the air, but it's good to hear that there are plans to bring it back. It's always great to hear, you know, that foreign support. And not just that, but that team house is so important because it allows other teams to send their players there. I know we were considering ourselves to sponsor players to send to Korea to improve and get better. I know teams like Alpha X, you know, even independent players like Rex and Time and Cloudy and all these others, right? They all want a place to go to in Korea to, you know, improve together. But here we go, enough of that. We finally have our series, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the blue Protoss player hailing from the land of Mexico, representing Alpha X. It is, of course, the best Latin American Protoss player. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Peruvian Terran. He is red. He is on a brand new team. Of course, that is Team Exxon. It is NeO. La Tortuga. Oh boy, and here we go. So, fun fact, NeO was messaging me before this series started, and he's like, oh god, what do I do? What do I do against Pacomike? Like, he's so good. Do I play risky? And I'm like, mate, do what you gotta do. And here we go. We got a proxy 2 racks. Oh my. So, oh my. Okay, things are popping off. All right. So Pacomike, he has not gone in for a scout, which is important. He did send a probe out on the map, but of course, as we see, it's for a proxy of his own. So right now, neither player is scouting each other. Neither player knows really what's going on, and it's going to be all about who hits first and who hits harder. We do already have a couple of Marines on the way for NeO. Meanwhile, Pacomike, he is waiting for his cybernetics core to finish up. Like, he has to wait for this building to finish before he can throw down any tech like a Stargate or a Robo. So because of that, he's a little bit delayed. He is making a Zealot, which is great, and the Zealot will come out, but yo, the bunkers are already on the way. Oh my god, the Zealot is coming down the ramp. It's so important that NeO keeps these SCVs alive and allows these bunkers to finish. Meanwhile, oh my god, the proxy has been revealed. The boys are being pulled off the line. Oh god, this SCV here on the high ground will be going down, or it should go down. Pacomike, he's not attacking. Okay, there we go. He finally is. Meanwhile, that Zealot is being kited back. One Marine does go down, but the Zealot does fall. Meanwhile, my god, keep this SCV alive. Jesus Christ, it almost went down, but it did just barely get into that bunker. Meanwhile, the SCV did fall in the end. The bunker on the high ground will not survive, but NeO does have some high ground vision. Will he be able to use that? Oh no, a couple of the Marines, they popped out of the wrong side. The shield battery finished up as well, and we all know how good shield batteries are. With this, Pacomike should be able to hold on top of the ramp for now. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Pacomike, he committed. He threw down the Stargates, and he is popping out that Void Ray. This is so dangerous for NeO because NeO has nothing at home to defend. Oh god, this is disastrous. We still have Marines being pumped out for NeO, but again, with a shield battery, it's so difficult to push up the ramp like this. He is coming back home. Oh my god, no, he missed it. He doesn't see, he doesn't know. He comes back home, and somehow, some way, he completely avoids this proxy, and now the Void Ray is out. And now this could be it, mate. Like, what is there to stop this? We even have a pylon on the low ground, so shield batteries can be thrown down to keep these Void Rays alive. There we go. The shield batteries are on the way. We do have a bunker that's about to finish up, which will definitely help. Oh, some nice damage already being done on this Void Ray, but he will get the depot. And the thing is that, like, whole damage is what's important. And even then, the shield batteries are so close to finishing up, it's going to be so difficult to deal with this Void Ray. With that, here we go. The Cyclone is on the way. The SCVs are being pulled to try and keep the tech lab alive. The Void Ray is taking some damage, but the shield batteries finish up. They keep it alive. The second Void Ray shows up with 2 Void Rays, and with no starport, with no Cyclone, things are not looking good for NeO. The tech lab will be focused down. This Cyclone will be the only Cyclone out, and GG gets called. Pacomike takes game number 1. I mean, what? God damn it, Daunted. Neopets was a great game. Aye. RuneScape. We all played Neopets back in the day, and RuneScape, of course. Apparently Neopets is still a thing, by the way. I'm shook by that. Fun fact, I actually started playing RuneScape again, like, at the end of last year. Only briefly, though. Old school RuneScape, of course. It was a great nostalgia trip. But also very grindy. I did not have the time to invest into RuneScape. Fun fact, for years I thought the name of the game was Run Escape. Career, please. Switch the players. We are making the lobby. It looks like game number two will be on Beckett Industries. Of course, the shortest rush distance map in the map pool. Oh god. Alright, here we go. We are getting into game number 2. After an intense game number 1 where they proxied each other. Aye. And we'll see how we go here in Beckett Industries. Again, because of how small this map is it worth even proxying on a map like this? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Also, because of how small it is, you know, when you go for these early pushes as a Terran player, they hit so much harder and so much faster as well. There are not a lot of nice positions for your tanks. But we'll see. We'll see how this game plays out as we are getting into game number 2 of this best of 3 series. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Beckett Industries LE, we have the Mexican Protoss player. He is blue, currently up 1-0 in this series already. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Beckett Industries LE, we have the Peruvian Terran player. He is red. He is representing his brand new team, Team Exxon. It is NeO. Oh boy. And we'll see how we go here. Again, what was interesting about game number 1 is neither player scouted each other. They both had the same idea. They were both like, I'm just gonna flip a coin, I'm gonna take a risk, and I'm just gonna proxy. We'll see if the case is the same here in game number 2. We do have a probe, going across the map for Pacomike. We'll see if Pacomike actually decides to scout here in game number 2, or if he throws down another proxy pylon. So far, he is poised to just go straight into the main base of NeO, just to make sure that everything is at home. And with good reason, right? NeO, his racks was across the map in game number 1, so you want to make sure that everything is you know, standard and is up and up, if you will, in your opponent's base. As he's being a little bit annoying here, just tasing away at that SCV. Did get some damage done on it, and maybe he can try and focus it down later. Does he go for it? Does he go for it? Oh, he wants it. He wants that SCV. Oh no, it's getting low. No, NeO. No, not again. Oh god, the probe does get the SCV. Aye. Probes, they're pretty good. They're dangerous, and Pacomike gets that small win, but he does get locked into the main base, so he himself will also lose this probe. soon as that Reaper comes out. Yeah, so they do end up trading 1 for 1. This does delay Neo's scout a little bit because of course the Reaper does have to stay here at home and deal with this probe for a little bit, and then he can go across the map. But it's not like there's anything too important to scouts. Of course, we have a Nexus being thrown down, we have an Adept on the way, nothing too crazy, no early tech whatsoever. But of course, NeO, he does want to confirm that regardless, just in case. For now though, he is keeping his Reaper at home, waiting for his second Reaper. Oh my. Looking to be a little bit more aggressive here. We've seen NeO do this in the past. He's waiting for his third Reaper, he's getting a Hellion as well, and then when he pushes out, he has a pretty decent army. And even if there is a wall here, like with your Reaper grenades, you can knock a Stalker or a unit out of position and then just rush everything into the natural base. Of course, we see there is no wall here at the natural. Regardless, there is a lot of potential for damage to be dealt here by NeO when he does finally push out across the map. And we'll see what there is to defend. Obviously, a Stargate is on the way, and this is the most important thing that NeO has to scout when he does go across the map. He needs to get into the main base. He needs to know what kind of tech is on the way, whether it's a Stargate or whether it's a Twilight Council for Blink Stalkers. He really does have to get an idea of what's coming. And here we go, he does hit the front door, and immediately he's trying to focus on one of the Adepts that it looks like he should be able to get it. It's so low. He does get both Adepts in the end, will get the third, and the Phoenix does reveal itself. So 100% he knows that it is a Stargate opening, and oh my god, even forces a couple of probes off the line. Yo, he's getting a lot more damage than I would have thought here. My god, and even more probes going down, forces the boys off the main mineral line as well. The Hellion is still alive. Finally, the Phoenixes do come into play, and he picks up one of the Reapers, but that Hellion is dealing so much damage. Ay. This is too much. Pacomike, please, what's going on? He was so greedy going straight into this, going for, of course, a Phoenix and not like an Oracle to begin with or anything like that. And in the end, 16 probes go down. 16, that's an entire mineral line worth of probes. Jesus Christ. Well, Pacomike finally does defend at home, and he has a decent amount of Phoenixes. Oh my, and this is kind of scary. All right, he does go into the main base. Immediately, the Cyclone does get a lock on, so NeO is able to push Pacomike away. I was a little bit concerned that Pacomike was going to go straight for the mineral line at the natural and actually get some SCV kills because the army was in the main. Ooh, it does look like regardless, Pacomike will get a single SCV. Nicely done, but he needs to get more damage done. With all the damage he took early on, like that was huge. And to be fair, Phoenix is, like there's a lot of micro potential here. As we can see, he's able to pick up another SCV, and so far he hasn't lost a single Phoenix. He does have to be careful. He is skirting around the edges of the map. God, NeO, unfortunately, like he's keeping his entire army in his natural. He's not splitting up between the bases. To be fair, I don't know if he has enough to really split up to be able to contend against these Phoenixes, and as a result, he loses another 2 workers. But this is kind of scary. NeO, he's ready to push out. He has his tank. He has 2 tanks even. He has a decent amount of Marines. And yo, if Pacomike isn't careful, oh god, just barely he was able to keep all of his Phoenixes alive. He does scout the push out, and if NeO isn't careful, he could get picked off at. These tanks, like they are so vulnerable. He has to babysit them so hard. If he leaves them alone for 1 second, the Phoenixes can dive in and just instantly pick them up. Yo, and what is there at home? There is 1, 2, 3 shield batteries on the way. Overcharge will be available as well. The shield batteries aren't done quite yet, but they are so close. Regardless though, like there's not that many units here to protect the shield batteries, so they can be focused out, and the boys are once again forced off the line. And the tanks are getting picked up, but you know what? There isn't enough buffer for the Phoenixes, and the Phoenixes are getting focused down. GG gets called, and NeO ties up the series. Mates. And that is the power of Beckett Industries. Like those tank pushes, they hit so much faster. I'm tempted to veto this. Not gonna lie, with my own ladder sessions against Terran. Oh my god. But yeah, they hit so much faster, and even though Pacomike saw it coming, he had shield batteries on the way, but they weren't done yet. On a map like Submarine, like again, the rush distance is shorter by around 5 seconds. Like there would have been maybe enough time for the shield batteries to finish up, and then you could use overcharge, and then maybe you can hold on. But on a map like Beckett Industries, you need to be that much more on point with your scouting. You need to be more diligent, and you need to be, you need to be prepared for something like this. Wow, GG. And we are going to the ace match. Honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised. I was a little bit concerned that, Pacomike, especially after game number 1, he would just have all this momentum and take the entire series. But after game number 2, yo, NeO, he can do it. He's got it in him. Excuse me, how do 3 Reapers kill a mineral line? Oh, I mean, we can clip it if you want. 3 Reapers and a Hellion, mate. My god. Yes, it was due to this person right here being a little bit too greedy, being a little bit too overconfident, if you will, because spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE, we have the Mexican Protoss player. He is blue. He is representing Team Alpha X. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE, we have the Peruvian Terran. He's red, representing Team Exxon, doing it for his team owner in the chat. It is, of course, NeO. Alexander's in the chat. Drop and air proxies are still good on this map. Yeah, I mean, again, when we think about submarine, there were people who still did proxy on that map as well. So yeah, you still have to be diligent with your scouting, Oh god, that's what I love about this new map pool. Like, it's great to have fresh new maps, and we get to see some new strategies. We'll see if eventually we get into, what's it called, Blackburn, I believe. Blackburn is the one with the gold base. Last night we were casting a lot of Miyamika, and quite often he went for that gold base, sometimes as his third base or sometimes as his natural. It was insane. So we'll see if a map like that, or in that kind of strategy, gets used a little bit more often, bringing back the gold. But here we go. We are in game number 2. We're tied up in this series, and just like game number 2, unlike game number 1, they are not proxying each other. They are playing a little bit more standard. We do have the natural bases being taken by both players, respecting each other, not willing to risk it here in the ace match. Pacomike has been having a lot of fun, but mate, you gotta tighten up, all right? We'll see if he goes Stargate again. 2 games in a row. To be fair, in different fashions, he has decided to go for Stargate. I would imagine he's going to go for Twilight Council this game, but we'll see. We'll see what he's feeling like. There it is. Stargate. Here we go. Meanwhile, of course, on the other side of things, we have NeO being a lot more defensive. He didn't skip his first Reaper, but unlike game number 2, he is not going for that big committed Reaper Hellion pressure or Hellion attack. He's not like bagging up to 3 or 4 Reapers, it was 3 Reapers and 2 Hellions. Instead, only committing to 1 Reaper, then immediately going for that reactor on the racks. Oh, can he get one? Okay, opts not to go for the mineral line, backs off instead. Doesn't want to risk it, but, NeO, he was able to get a nice scout off. He confirmed that a Stargate was on the way, so he knows what Pacomike is going for. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, we do have the first Adept already across the map as well, denying a lot of mining here in the natural base of NeO. Ooh, thankfully, the shade wasn't timed to go under the factory as it was lifting up, so that would have been disastrous, but thankfully that didn't happen. Pacomike's just chilling here in the natural base. The Reaper does come all the way back home, and with these Marines, he should eventually be able to deal with this. Pacomike knows that, so he's getting ready to evacuate as soon as things go down. Does get out. At the same time, the Phoenix does dive in. I don't know how I feel about his first Phoenix being this bold. He's done it 2 games in a row now. With the first Phoenix, he just rallies straight into the into the production. To be fair, nothing shoots up, so I guess he has nothing to worry about, which is honestly kind of worrying, right? Like, now that there are 2 Phoenixes, he can just start picking away at things, and nothing can really stop him. We do have a couple of Marines in the natural, but yeah, Pacomike doesn't even care. As we do have more Phoenixes on the way, and this is the NeO we know and love on this channel. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with him, when we started off the series, NeO, he plays mech, and that's what he knows, that's all he knows. And oh my god, Pacomike, please! 1 Phoenix immediately goes down due to these Widow Mines, but a 3rd Phoenix does show up, and it looks like one of the Widow Mines will get picked off. Both Widow Mines could even be picked off if NeO isn't careful. But we do see 3 factories. Again, mech. It's there's a reason why I've dubbed him La Tortuga, the turtle, if you will. In TVZ, he plays a more turtle style of mech, not Ferrari mech, but here in TVP, we do see Cyclone Widowmine kind of be his composition of choice. We'll see how he switches things up. He does have tanks on the way. I'm a little bit concerned just because the amount of Phoenixes out, but what is important is that Phoenix production has stopped for now. Pacomike, he's switching straight into charge lots upon seeing all those factories. Charge lots are pretty good. You know, charge lot immortal, if you will, is ideal against this kind of mech composition. To be fair, there are a lot of Protoss players because they're not very used to playing against mech. As you can imagine, it's not very popular, so there are Protoss players that can struggle against it just because they're not used to it. They don't often play against this style and they don't know what the hell to do. Thankfully though, because NeO is in the Latin American scene and he does compete in a lot of tournaments, Pacomike does have plenty of practice and he is aware of this style from NeO, so he should be able to respond accordingly. Nicely done. He does pick off 3 Hellions for free there. Ooh, at the same time, it looks like there was a couple of probes going down here, I imagine at the 4th. I'm sorry, at the 3rd. But in the end, it was only 5. And yeah, we'll see what NeO has in store for us. Oh my god, he's actually switching into Thors. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, we have 2 Thors on the way. I guess just in case there is a commitment into Skytoss, he wants to cover his bases, question mark, just to make sure he has some anti-air, just to defend against these Phoenixes, or to protect his tanks either way. Well, I guess what NeO doesn't know is that there are only 3 Phoenixes, so it isn't the biggest of deals. But regardless, like, he's making sure he's okay. At the same time, he's committing to drilling claws as well. We do see a pretty decent amount of Widow Mines here already. What is this? 6 Widow Mines between his bases? And to be fair, the Widow Mines will do decently well against the charge lots, I guess. Yeah, it's just, this is a very unique composition to NeO. I don't know any other Terran player. Even Tavo doesn't do this. Tavo plays a little bit more standard in TVP. TVZ is a different story, but yeah, and here we go. The boys are being pulled. NeO, he's just pushing across the map. Ooh, and this does get spotted by the Phoenixes. 1 Phoenix already gets picked up for free. Meanwhile, we do have the gateway units being warped in. 1-1 is done for Pacomike. He already has a shield battery here as well. Only 1 though, between all 3 bases. So I am a little bit concerned. There we go. We do have more shield batteries on the way, but they feel a little bit late. Like this, I'm really concerned for Pacomike right now. God, as NeO is pushing on forward, 1 Widow Mine shot does go off, and again, the shield batteries, they're not close to being done, and NeO, he's sieging up. Oh my god, we do see the Phoenixes do pick up 1 of the tanks, but the Widow Mine shots go off. Every single Phoenix does get obliterated out of the sky, even flies up into the atmosphere, into the 2,000 atmospheres, if you will. The 3rd base is completely forfeit. Everything is going to go down here. Pacomike, he evacuates. He does save the majority of his workers, but again, the problem is he doesn't have any shield batteries at his natural either. Like, he has no defensive structures. He only has his gateway units to defend. He does have a disruptor on the way, and that disruptor shot is going to be key here to be able to hold and defend. And it looks like the disruptor will come out. So we'll see how juicy that purification nova is, or we'll see how good the splits are for NeO. Oh my god, as the Nova does come out, it connects with a couple of Widowmines, opts not to go for the Hellbats. Meanwhile, oh my god! 6 Hellbats go down due to this one Disruptor, 7 even, Jesus Christ, a juicy purification over there. It's important to note, one of the Robos did go down, only one more Robo to produce. Oh god, the Phoenixes, sorry, the Stalkers are coming in, they're sniping so many tanks. Pacomike is doing a really good job at holding, and what's important is this Disruptor is alive and it has recharged its Nova. It's ready to shoot out once again. Oh god, Pacomike, he's doing his best to hold on right now. Eventually his army is being whittled down, but you know what? A second Disruptor is about to pop out. Like, these Novas, trying to push up a ramp into the main base, you're gonna lose so much supply there. Meanwhile, the War Prism does warp in once again. A couple more Stalkers do come in, but I don't know, it feels like this is not enough, and GG gets called. Wow, NeO with this 2 base all in. Last night's Sentimental Latino champion was not expecting this. He was not expecting NeO to oppose them this hard, and NeO takes the series.